Hello and welcome to the channel. Be sure to share, like, and comment down below. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for daily videos on news and politics. Alan Dershowitz, GOP is finally looking into the FISA court and the FBI.
And here to untangle the entire web of what's going on right now is renowned Harvard Law School professor, attorney Alan Dershowitz. He is also the author of Trumped Up: How Criminalization of Political Differences Endangers Democracy. And boy, Professor, this is exactly what that is. This is the politicalization and the weaponization of agencies of the United States government, really sacred agencies like FISA, that should never be used on the basis of political bias, right?
Well, there's no question about that. This is one of the most questionable elections, not in terms of outcome, in terms of process on both sides, with accusations and counter-accusations. That's why from day one, I said this can't be trusted to a special counsel. It can't be trusted to Democrat, Republican committees in Congress. There should be an independent, nonpartisan commission appointed, much like 9/11, to look into every aspect of this election. Russian influence, Russian attempt to influence, Democratic misconduct, Republican misconduct. We need neutral, objective assessment. We have to protect our legitimacy of our elections and the legitimacy of our law enforcement. And we're not going to do it through Republican truth and Democrat truth. We need American truth.
Professor, if there was a completely independent prosecutor, it'd be hard to find right now, considering how polarized this country is. But if there was one, don't you think that with all of this information coming out about the phony FISA warrants and the Trump dossier and all the connections, now we have a connection between a Democratic senator and a lawyer who is working for a Russian oligarch, that such an independent prosecutor would probably open up an investigation into Democratic connections or possible Democratic collusion with Russia?
Well, the problem is none of this is criminal. It's all political sins. None of it is criminal.
Well, let me argue with one point, Professor, and forgive me, but the one thing that does appear to be criminal is if somebody misrepresented evidence, material evidence, to a FISA court. Would that not be criminal?
Oh, I don't think so. That could be contempt of court. Conceivably, it could be unethical, but I don't know any statute. Remember, you always have to start the inquiry by finding the statute.
Yes.
What statute is violated? And tragically, what happened with FISA is it's not the first time this has happened. FISA has a special trust because they get to hear only one side from the Justice Department. The Justice Department has an obligation to present it fairly, making sure that the FISA court sees all the evidence and all the evidence that undercuts the evidence. You know, one thing I'm thrilled about is I've been fighting this fight as a liberal Democrat for 50 years.
Yeah.
Now, thank you, Republicans and conservatives, for coming on board and beginning to look critically at the FBI, at the FISA court. I think that's a good thing for America.
By the way, the FISA court is not the only one on the spot here, because the FBI has a duty to trace down sources. And Christopher Steele, who was supposedly the main source of the Trump dossier, it turns out now that he may have just been a pass-through. And he was passing through a lot of information that was coming directly from the Clinton campaign.
That's
three major sources now. And there was no attempt by the FBI to track down where this information was coming from.
And there should be now. It's not too late. There should be a deep inquiry into everything that went into the FISA warrant. We're all waiting to see the Democratic memo. It should come out. If the Republican memo came out, the Democratic memo should come out. After they're both out, ultimately, we should see the FISA application, redacted to be sure, to protect national security, but let the American public decide what the facts are, rather than being told by Republicans what their facts are, Democrats what their facts are. Let's give us the ability, and the media, because the media is the most important check and balance today on the excesses of the Justice Department, the FBI, the government, and Congress. The media has never been in a more important place.
I agree, but as you well know, Alan Dershowitz, it is just the media that you're talking to right now that seems to have any interest or passion about the fact that Americans apparently were spied on without sufficient cause. The rest of the media doesn't give it much attention at all.
The problem is some of the media focuses much more attention on the questionable activities of one party, or the media focuses on the questionable activities of other parties. That's fine, because we, the American people, could sort that out. We can flip the channels and get all different perspectives. But when it comes to an investigation, nonpartisan, non-biased investigators are the key to keeping our law enforcement legitimate, and we're not there. And this episode just demonstrates how far we are from objectivity and neutrality.
Absolutely. No, the blind, I think of the statue of the lady with the blinder over her eyes, Lady Justice, and that blinder has been ripped right off. There's a lot.
They're peeking. People
are peeking at the very least, if not taking it off completely. Alan Dershowitz, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and tell me how you feel about this report. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and let's make America great again. Peace.